Coming back on Dialogue 2010 in 3, 2, 1. Back on Dialogue 2010, I'm Mark Sims. This week our guest is Peter Gioia with the Connecticut Business and Industry Association. We've been talking about the economy and looking ahead in terms of what we hope will be a recovery in the new year. Any good signs out there that we see that may be an indication of good things to come as opposed to the bad that we've seen in 2009 and earlier?
You know, I think we're beginning to see some positive signs that are out there, and probably, you know, one of the important ones is exporting. You know, as we're seeing that, you know, the dollar has weakened versus many other world currencies, it makes U.S. products a lot more affordable overseas. The rest of the world has been recovering at a bit stronger pace than the U.S. And I think there's a potential for some of the global stuff to help pull us out. And certainly Connecticut has been a very export-dependent state, has set records for several years prior to 2009 in terms of exporting. I think there's some positive news there. I think there's also some positive news in innovation. We noticed in surveys that we did earlier in the year that even as you know, companies were facing the struggles of the recession, that there were a lot of them that were still investing in R&D and in new products and services. I think those will come out, and those will do it. You know, we know that a lot of companies are running pretty tight in terms of the number of people that they have. I think that, you know, you will see a situation again by past mid-year where some companies will have enough extra activity that they'll have to bring on people. And certainly, you know, some of the preliminary national surveys looking at things such as salary changes say that, you know, whereas many companies had pay cuts or no raises or furloughs or the like in 2009, there's potential for raises in 2010. So, you know, there's some positive stuff out there. The other thing I think that, you know, long term, when you look at something like housing, we had a year now we're ending that saw the worst housing new starts numbers in 30 years. Connecticut traditionally can handle 11,000 to 12,000 new housing starts. It's had less than that in 2008, massively less than that in 2009, probably less than that in 2010 from all the forecasts. Something's going to have to give after a while. Again, just as we've had boom times with too many starts, as we remember during the late 80s, where you had as many as 28,000 in a year. Something's got to give on this, and my guess is, you know, we've got the potential for that probably in 2000 and 2011. The other thing I think that'll be going positive in 2010 is that I think it's very unlikely in this environment that the Federal Reserve is going to raise its federal funds rates, and so that's going to keep the prime rate and interest rates low for an extended period of time, as they've mentioned in their reports. That's a very positive and healthy thing for the economy. And you couple that with the fact that they're able to do that because we've got inflation running at about 1%. For most of 2009, it actually was negative. That's real good news because, again, you know, if there are some raises in 2010, the raises don't have to be big for them to be real in a meaningful way in people's pocketbooks when you get 1% inflation.